Did you give it a go? I hope so. And you'll see here how intuitive and easy it actually is once you understand all these methods. It's really fun. So let's get into it. What's the first thing we need to do? Well, that's right. We need to define where we want to put this li tag that we're going to create into. Remember, we've got to attach it to a parent. In that case, our parent is the ul tag. So the first step is let's define a ul. Let's call it ul element. And we can literally find it. We can assign it a value. Yes, we start at the document. This is the root of our page. We access a method called query selector and we just find the ul tag. There we have it. This is the first step. The second step we need to do is we need to create an li tag. We need to then add text to that li tag and then we need to add it to this ul element. How are we going to do that? Well, firstly, we've got an array called animals. We need to kind of loop through that array. We need to then grab each item that we're looping through, include that as the text to the li tag, and then we add that to the ul. I hope that makes sense. Let me show you how I would do it. Again, there are many ways to skin a cat when it comes to programming. We could use the traditional for loop. I want to use the for of. It's just more intuitive to me. If you don't know what that means, again, you can do my JavaScript course. You can just Google it. It's a very simple for of loop. So here, all I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to define a for of loop. Our iterator is each item in the array. And we're just going to call that animal. We can call it whatever we want. Of what object? Well, we're wanting to loop through that array called animals. So there we go. Each time it iterates through this array, it's going to throw us back that animal name in a variable called animal. That's all that this code means. That's all that it's doing. Please don't be intimidated. So now we know that each time it loops through this array, we're going to have that animal name in a variable called animal. Whew, that's cool. But what's the first step? The first step is let's create our list item. Let's just call it list item. How do we create this? Remember, we started our document. We access a method called create element, sorry. And the element we want to create is this li tag. So far, so good. Right now, you'd agree with me that we've created an li tag, but it's empty. There is no text. And in one of the previous lectures, much earlier, we did discuss how to add text to a newly created element. Do you remember how we did that? That's right, we accessed a property on the element called text content. We could use inner HTML, but for cross-site scripting attacks, it's much safer to use text content. So let's do that. Let's access our newly created list item. We then want to change its text content, don't we? And what do we want that to be equal to? What do we want to assign that to? Well, we want it to be the name of our animal. And as I mentioned, we've got this variable called animal through each loop in the iteration. So there we go. We've literally now manipulated its text content. What's the last step? Yes, the last step is to add this to our DOM. Right now, this is floating around in space all by itself. We have to add it to something. Here, we define the ul element as its parent. We want to access the append child method. And yes, we want to append what? We want to append this list item. So there we have it. Before I save, if I go to the browser, you can see here we've just got a heading called cool animals. If I go back to the Visual Studio Code here and I save, what do you think is going to happen now? Well, I hope it's worked. Let's go here to our browser. And boom, there you go. This is awesome. We literally have what we were wanting. Whew, so I hope it is making sense. I hope you had fun with this exercise. This really has put a lot of the different concepts you've learned in the course together in creating something really cool and fun. Well done. I'm very impressed.